right, so at the end of the last demo, I brought in this EPS file, which is just black and empty space, all these little fibers and textures. And obviously that's not going to work well on all backgrounds, right? So the first thing I'll do is I'm going to keep that EPS in. It's a texture file. I'm going to mark it blue, and I might even label it EPS grunge texture. But now I am going to go to my vector file, use the magic wand with contiguous turned on, select outside of it, right? Everything outside of my illustration. Go to my EPS grunge texture file, select the inverse, so it's only the part that's inside, and duplicate that. Mark that blue as well. So now, on any background, that grunge is only on the inside. And then, this is one of my favorite parts. Let's put it on a black shirt again. But then I'm going to move this texture down through my color. Because right now it's over on top of everything except the color holds. But if I move it down, it goes below my line work. I can even move it into my duotone folders and move it down through and see where it's most useful. So I kind of like it there. Or even there, let's see. Yeah, to give it a little variety. If I keep moving it down, yeah, it gets lost. So I think I'm going to put it there. Then I can play, because it was generated from an EPS, I can play with layer styles on it. So instead of it being black dots, I can give it a color. I can make them kind of reddish, spotty. I can make them fluorescent green. You know, whatever I think would help my design. Ooh, the purple's kind of neat. Purple's not something I use a lot of. And of course, I can do all the other stuff. I can give them drop shadows. I can make them glow. I don't want to do anything too crazy. I can give them all a stroke. And check that out. It's kind of this mosaic effect around all those individual texture plates, right? And so you just have so much control. And maybe I want that, but maybe I want it really subtle. So I'm going to take my color overlay and really let the black come through a little bit more. And then just take the whole opacity on this down a little bit. And then my soft edge gradation, I'm going to take that down a little bit too. So it goes a little bit darker and not quite so bright. And I can take it down with dissolve. So now it almost looks airbrushed, right? Okay, so let's say that's my final, and I'm happy with that. I'm just going to adjust my color holds a little bit, maybe even add some outer glow to those. You see how that can help? And I'm going to make that, instead of yellow, I'm going to make it kind of that cream color. So they're a little warmer, especially in the eye, that helps. And I like how that color hold makes the eye not stand out as much. So that you can see this. Or maybe it makes it stand out too much. Gosh, I don't know anymore. So if I think it makes it stand out too much, I can do this. I can select that, duplicate it, turn off effects on it, and delete it from this layer. So I can treat them differently. And I can add as many of these kind of special effects as I want. Just trying to get these eyes to have kind of some visual interest too. See how that works. Yeah, so there's so much that can be done. You decide what should be done and what's too much. Let's say we do it like this, and this is my final. So I save it. I save my PSD file. It's got all of this in here. Now, I'm going to turn off the backgrounds, all of them. Hopefully they look good on all of them. And I save it as my final to the desktop as a PNG. So this is the spot illustration, full resolution, and this is what you would put up to websites to make t-shirts of or to sell. This high resolution PNG. But that's not your archive file, right? You still want your PSD file for all your changes as your working format. Now, I want to upload just the vector. So what I'll do is turn off the eyeball on every layer except for my vector line work layer. Groups make that easy, right? And then turn off the effects on that vector line work layer and save that as a PNG. I'm actually going to leave my effects on just so it looks good on black. But you want to save your vector to upload, and I'm going to call that, instead of digital color, I will call that line work to the desktop as a PNG. And then because I already saved it as a PSD with all the layers turned on, when I close it here, I am not going to save it. So it will ask me if I want to save and update, and I don't, because I want all those things turned on. Okay, that's fine. So now, the only other thing I need is my sketch. And I'm going to go to PhotoBucket and upload those. So my sketch, where is that? It's right here. See, I think I have it back here. Yes, so there's my sketch. I'm going to save that to the desktop. It's a JPEG, and that's fine. So when I upload to PhotoBucket, I go to assignment 7. Today is the deadline for it. I'm going to go to instructor demonstrations. And I'll drop in these 3 files, the sketch, the line work, and the finished PNG colored illustration. Now we'll be able to adapt it and keep working on the color and keep working on effects in assignment 8, because we'll be building text to go with these illustrations and then making them into posters. But then while that's uploading, I also want to go to Redbubble, which is in the links of the digital course in Canvas. And you are welcome to make your own account. This is optional. But I'm going to log in and just show you how easy it is to turn a well-designed kind of PNG product. I'm going to add new work into things to sell online. So I'm going to take my finished PNG, I'm going to upload that while it's uploading here. So there they are. Then you label them your sketch. You label it with our semester code, SP17. This will be Carl 1. Your vector line work. It's number 2. and your full colored illustration is 3. And then they should show up in the right order. Okay, now this is now in Redbubble. And I can see all these shirts. Ooh, I get eyes for nipples if I use that orientation. Very nice. And you can see it can be iPhone cases, it can be stickers. My favorite is stickers. And I can choose at the bottom here, you can edit the settings for all of these, like how it would fit on bags and mini skirts and leggings, and you can turn them off or turn them on. And then you just fill this out here, you give a description of it, and you decide if you want it to be public or not. That's why I recommend Redbubble. It's free to create an account. You just need an email address. But then you can say, only I am able to see it. And then you can buy products for yourself, but you don't need to make them public to sell. And if you do want to sell, you just link a PayPal account to it. So I'll call this Digital Art Achievement Badge. I'll just call it an NLC Achievement Badge. And I'll add that description. And I'm lazy. Do those as search terms. And I'll say it's design and illustration and digital art. So you want to save your vector and your finished vector as your finished illustration as a PNG with the background turned off. But your sketch can just be a JPEG. And is this mature content? No, it's deeply immature. And then what do I want to be seen? I want the sticker to be seen by me. All right, so we'll work on that. Okay. So it's all about variations and variety. So the one I did last semester, I took some time because I really liked them. And I made them into scarves, into shirts, into tablets, protective, into a mouse pad, all kinds of things. So that will be the test of your illustration going into the next assignment. It's what can you make of it with the poster. Yeah. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to see them on a black shirt, so what you would do is with your vector, you would give them an offset. Keep it really simple. You would just spread it out. So this was a black shirt. By turning on that layer style, you can kind of play with the glow behind it.
Yeah, I like that grayish glow.
Yeah. So you can set how big it is, all of that. Yeah, so you turn off the background, save it as a PNG. And save it as a PSD for yourself.
Gotcha.
Yes. Cannot. Oh, it's because you're in CMYK. So let's change it back to RGB.
Oh.
And CMYK mode is if we were sending this to a professional printer, then you would want it in CMYK mode, and they would need the separated out digital files. There is a difference. CMYK is more limited, and so when we put it in, you might want to adjust your class a little bit. You actually have more options this way. And because we print digitally instead of on lithography press, we want to stay in RGB. Because CMYK mode is used by professional printers, when you output vectors, the default setting within them is CMYK. We get around that by setting up our own file in Photoshop with RGB first before bringing it in. But you can always change it back from CMYK to RGB. So now you'll be able to save it as a. We are. Well, I don't know if we're going to compete today.
So the line art instead.
What I want to do is make sure we're all